this is job batch costing. Job batch costing. First of all, discussion আমি আবার বলে দিই শুরু করে ঠিক আছে first of all that is job. What do you mean by job costing? Initially we have discussed different types of costing methods, but today we are focusing on job costing. Job costing means here the manufacturer actually focus to find out the total cost that can be associated to complete a specific job. And this specific job actually comes from the specific customer's request. So that's why here we try to focus on costing. Costing. What? Costing for a specific customer's request. Customer's specification. That is, for example, a customer comes with a specification of a kind of machine or a kind of car or a kind of plant. Then the manufacturer actually try to build up the cost structure or doing that kinds of activity. That is all about job costing. So here we actually, so another thing I want to say, that is job costing can be done when the manufacturer actually deal with different types of customer with their different specification. At the same time, organization itself can go for job costing. Suppose you have an organization to do a specific job, what will be the internal cost? Then you can go for job costing system. Clear? So now the fact is how we can do that. In job costing system, the company or manufacturer maintain a job cost card. Let's say that is job cost sheet. Job cost sheet. Here the fact is, first of all, I discussed this job cost sheet according to your lecture note. It's a kind of format. See, it's a kind of format according to your lecture note. The format gist is, first of all, you have to find out the material cost which is required to do the job, right? Then you have to find out the labor cost to do the job. Then if there are any kinds of other expenses, then you have to find out these other expenses. Then if any kinds of wear, overhead absorption, fixed production overhead absorption rate is there, that should be. So end of the day, you have material cost, labor cost, other expenses, then fixed production overhead absorption rate, etc., etc. Then you can find out the total cost of a specific job. And the fact is, in the job cost sheet, the job should be a specific number. As for example, suppose 400, the job is denoted with a kind of number by the manufacturer. There is 400. So here, the job sheet actually represents the total cost required to do that specific kind of job. And job sheet also maintained, because job cost actually done for a specific customer. So that's why in job cost sheet we now you can say the manufacturer actually maintain all the necessary information regarding that individual customer. Suppose Mr. X, this job 411 is done for Mr. X. That's why Mr. X total information should be there. So end of the day, a portion of profit actually added with this, and then a portion price actually asked to the individual customer. That is all about job cost sheet. Clear? This is the gist. So job cost sheet structure you can find out in the lecture note. Now, so what do we discuss up to this level? That is, in job cost, doing a specific kind of job that comes from a customer specification, we actually find out the cost, right? That means total cost. Now, end of the day, you need to find out quotation price. Quotation price. That means you have to ask your customer or ask the individual customer who is providing the specification what will be the price that you are going to offer that job. Clear? So this quotation price actually have to set up. So how this quotation price actually set by the manufacturer? There are two different ways how the manufacturer can go for making the quotation price or the selling price. One is markup pricing, another is margin. So how you can go for that? There is, first of all, there is markup pricing. In the case of markup pricing, the selling price will be total cost. First of all, total cost. That means the total cost you calculated from the job cost sheet, right? Material, labor, other expenses, overheads, etc. So when you combine all these things, it will provide you the total cost of doing that specific kind of job. So with this total cost, now you are setting up the selling price. With this total cost, a percentage of total cost should be added with the total cost to set up the selling price. As for example, your total cost to do a specific kind of job, suppose is $100. Now what should be the selling price with this $100 total cost? We will add, as for example, 10% of, that is, suppose markup is 10%. That means here in this case you are setting up the selling price. How? That is 10% of total cost you are adding with your total cost to set up the selling price. So your 100 is your selling price, 10% of 100 is, that is 10. That means your selling price will be $110. Your quotation price to that specific customer for that specific job will be $110. So this is the normal scenario, markup pricing. Then another way you can set up the pricing, that is margin. Margin means, that is suppose, as for example, this margin are two types actually. One is net margin, gross margin, another is net margin. What does it mean? Suppose, as for example, gross margin is 20%. It has a kind of meaning. This is another way how you can set up the selling price or make the quotation price. Gross margin. If gross margin is 20%, in the case of margin, you have to think that is selling price should be 100%. You have to assume that. So in the gross margin selling, first of all, your sales is $100. As for example, 100%. As the gross margin is 20%, it means that within this selling price, 20% will be your profit. That means whatever the selling price you are going to set, that should be 100%. Within that selling price, 20% should be regarded as a kind of profit, and remaining 80% is actually gross margin. So according to income statement, we have discussed that is initially sales, right? So what we have discussed in the cost structure, first of all, the company actually find out the total production cost, right? Prime cost, then non-productive prime cost, then production related overheads. So when you add all kinds of production related cost, that will provide you the total production cost. So when you are deducting total production cost from the sales, that will provide the gross profit. From the gross profit, when you deduct the non-productive activity cost, that will provide you the net, right? So here, gross margin means within the 100% of sale, 20% will be profit, and 80% gross actually comes from deducting the total production cost from the sale. That's why 80% will be total production cost. In the net margin, sales is just like previous 100%. Within this 100%, suppose 20% is net margin, 20% should be profit. 20% should be profit, and the remaining 80% net actually comes when you deduct all kinds of cost, both production related cost as well as non-productive activity cost from the sales, right? That's why in the case of net margin, the remaining 80% will be total cost. So, if you want to find out the quotient price through gross margin, first of all you have to find out the total production cost, and that production cost should be 80%. If you find that total production cost, that should be 80%. So you can easily find out what will be the 100% means. On the other hand, if you guys are provided net margin in your exam hall, in that case, the remaining 80% should be your total cost. Total cost means cost of all productive and non-productive activity cost. So first of all, you have to find out the total cost, and that total cost represent 80% of the total sale. So you can find out what will be the 100%, and that will be the total selling price or production price. So this is the normal way of job costing. Clear? Now, what is batch costing? There is a slight difference between job costing and batch costing. Batch costing, batch means lot, or you can say stock. That is, in the batch costing, the manufacturer is focusing to do a kind of job. The specification comes from the customers, right? So that's why he goes through all like that. We have already discussed. But in the job costing, batch costing, think an example, that is manufacturing loaf. The bakery actually manufacture a number of loaf at a specific batch. So first of all, just like the job costing, you have to find out the total batch costing. As for example, batch of 100 units, right? So first of all, just like the previous job costing, you have to find out batch of manufacturing cost of batch of 100 units, right? For example, suppose your total cost TC of 100 units comes to 1,000, just like the previous cost sheet. Material, labor, other expenses, etc., etc. To produce this 100 of a specific kind of thing, your total cost record is 1,000. Now, the fact is, if you divide 1,000 by 100, it will provide you the per unit cost. Right? Even, just like the previous, you are finding the total cost, then you are setting up the quotient price. End of the day, the total quotient price should be divided by 100. So you can find out the individual selling price. That is the differences between job and batch. Clear? Now, we will go through some example. How we can do this. Normally, in your exam, the exam question actually comes with the setting up the selling price or quotient price to be set up. As for example, I have discussed different kinds of example in your class note. That is, suppose this is a kind of work example. Here, according to your class notes, the following example will help you practice presenting a cost analysis for a specific job. Jobbing Limited manufacture persuasion tools for its customer owns specification, right? That means with the customer's specification, a kind of tool is manufactured. The manufacturing operation are divided into 3 cost centers. That means, suppose as for example, you are the manufacturer of this pen. This pen actually comes with the customer specification and you can manufacture them. To do this, there are three different cost center, A, B and C, and different types of cost actually are provided. So what will be the cost may be there? First of all, material cost will be there, labor cost will be there, other expenses may be there, then production related overheads will be there. So by adding up all these things, you have to find out the total cost first. That is the main gist. Then you can go for the production price. So here, an extract from the company budget for the forthcoming period shows the following data. Data means to do the job, you have to go through three different cost centers. As for example, assembly, manufacture, and finishing. Suppose budgeted production overhead for these three centers is provided, and budgeted activity also provided. So we can find out the where of each individual department test, right? So here for this information we can find out the OAR, and I have discussed the OAR. I have already calculated here the OAR of these three individual department is, first one is 1.75, then 3.8, then C is 0.98, and all these are absorbed depend upon the machine hour. First two are machine hour, and last one is labor hour. So it's the kind of information how to do the specific kind of job, what amount of indirect cost will be absorbed, right? This is the way. Then other information you are provided, that is job number 427. We have already discussed in the job cost card, the job should be provided a specific kind of number. Through the number, job is represented. So here the job is 427. To do this 427, there are some kinds of material required, direct material requisition and direct material return to store. So normally, according to our example, we can find out the total cost. So what will be there is job of 427. What will be the cost of 427? First of all, we try to find out the material cost, right? Material cost. Here, initially, material cost required 6780, but afterwards you return some portion of material, that is 3960. So what will be your total material cost? You can find out that. I have done this example in your. Here I have just discussed the cost part. So here I can find out the cost of material, right? Then I have to find out the labor cost. Labor. You are providing the information that there are three defense center and three defense center to do the 427 job. Three different departments require different kinds of different number of hours. As for example, A require 146 hours, B require 39 hour, and C require 279 hours. You are providing the labor hour rate. So by multiplying the labor rate, you can find out the total labor cost, right? So you have to go through a sequence. First of all, material cost, then find out the labor cost, then go through if there is any kinds of other expenses. Other expenses, direct other expenses. See here, special machine hired for the job, higher cost is 59. This is your other expenses. Other expenses. And this is obviously direct, because without this machine you cannot go for doing the job. That is 59, something like that. 59. So if you add these three things, direct material, direct labor, and direct other expenses, it will provide you the prime cost, right? So this will provide you prime cost. Okay. Now we have already calculated the prime cost. So we have calculated the prime cost. prime cost. That means production related all kinds of variable cost. With these, I have to add the overhead, right? That is machine hour recorded for against the job eto and price quoted charge. Then you have to charge the fixed production overhead. Production overheads. The information is also already provided, right? A, B, C. A and B will absorb overhead depend upon the machine hour basis, and C will absorb overhead depend upon the labor hour basis. So hours is provided and rate is also provided. So you can find out the fixed production overhead charged, right? So up to this level, when you add this thing, it will provide you the total production cost, right? This is total production cost. Then you are also provided non-productive activity cost is also provided. Non-productive activity cost is for administration and general overhead is 10% of the total production cost. So if you can find out the total production cost, non-productive activity cost, that is admin. Admin is 10% of total production cost. So you can find out that. Then sales and distribution overhead is 12% of selling price. Sales and distribution 12% of selling price. Selling price is also provided 7,200 something like that. So you can find out the selling, right? So when you add these, it will provide you the total cost, right? Total cost. So normally we add a percentage of markup, or you can say markup, right? Markup. In the case of markup pricing, we add a percentage of total cost with this to find out the selling price. Here the selling price is provided. Here the quotation price, or you can say selling price. Selling price is 17,200. 17,200. So you can find out the profit here. What portion of profit is added to the total cost, right? What's next step? According to